Hey there, folks. Rel here. Today I have with me Sergeant Merrell, who is a very, very popular Battlefield 3 YouTube commentator, and also he does PlanetSide 2 videos from time to time. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hey guys, I am Sergeant Merrell. I don't know if I'm popular, but
I think you're popular.
yeah, I do. I mean, I do a bunch of different videos, and I tend to stick with the games that I enjoy the most, which right now is Battlefield 3 and Battlefield 4 coming out. And PlanetSide 2, man. And I don't care how unpopular it may be on the internet compared to Call of Duty or Battlefield 3. I just love the game, and so naturally I do videos on it.
How long have you been running or playing PlanetSide 2, rather?
Since beta.
Yeah.
I went to PAX last year, and I was on a panel with some of the developers of PlanetSide 2. Well, I wasn't on the panel. I was listening to it. And it was about the future of online gaming. And I just really liked what they had to say. It just kind of really struck a chord with me, and I was like, okay, well, let me check out their game, PlanetSide 2. They were handing out beta keys at the after the event. And I got a shit ton of them. I gave them to all my friends, and we just kind of jumped into the beta, which was extremely buggy at the time, had a lot of issues, but what they had built, combined with what they had said, I knew that they were on the right path of something great, and they haven't proved me wrong.
Very cool. PlanetSide 2 has been out since November, and they've, like the bugs that you mentioned, they've been making like leaps and strides just towards getting, rid of those and, maybe inventing some new ones along the way, but all around, it's a pretty solid game. And it's funny that I think Matthew Higbee was talking about Battlefield 3, and they were originally trying to model the game PlanetSide 2 after Battlefield 3 just to get, I don't know, just maybe for direct competition, but also to, I don't know, Battlefield 3 is a very, very solid game, obviously very popular, has a long, history behind it. I mean, actually Battlefield Bad Company 2 was my favorite game of the series, and I don't know if they have the same developers or whatever. But as far as Battlefield 3 relating to PlanetSide 2, how do you think that they accomplished, that goal? Do you think...
I've always said, man, PlanetSide 2 is like Battlefield 3 on crack. It just is. Yeah. One of the things I love about the Battlefield series is that it's not so much about map design obviously is very important, but it's more about team gameplay and strategy. Whereas with Call of Duty, it kind of feels like an entire strategy can revolve around one head glitch spot on a map. You know what I'm saying? Like the map design it's so small that a lot of times it comes down to some certain spots, and that's the extent of the strategy. Get there first, hold it down. Whereas with Battlefield, it's much more about, are you playing the right class? Are you helping your team out the best way? Are you flanking correctly? And they did bring that into PlanetSide 2, and on a much larger scale that, no strategy is really going to be the same. You have your general strategies that work, come from these different directions, put the Sunderer here instead of here, but I feel like every time I play PlanetSide 2, I'm hardly ever in the same place, and I'm hardly ever playing the same way. So I think that's really cool about it. I really don't think there's another game like that out there that does it in the way that it does. And maybe you want to talk about this later, but PlanetSide 2's developers are dedicated and transparent more than any other developer I've seen. They're not hiding anything. When they screw up, they're like, what can we say? We fucked up here. Game's going to be down for an hour, guys. We're fixing it. The roadmap is just the PlanetSide 2 roadmap. If people play PlanetSide 2 and they haven't checked that out, I get excited every time I go and check it out just to see what ideas are getting put on the table and what players have to say about it. And the roadmap. Right,
and for those who don't know, is the roadmap it's a way for just the average player to see what the development team has in store for the game. And they actually said that they've planned it out for a 10-year time. And whether that's going to be a reality or not, that's always up in the air. But they do have at least 6 months, planned in advance. And you can see everything that they intend to put in the game, and then they can gather player feedback, because you can go in and you can write down, your comments, and they ask you specifically for ideas. And it does make an impact in the game, because I've seen things just downvoted to oblivion because they're bad.
And they deliver on the roadmap. It's not like the roadmap is just there to put breadcrumbs out there and just keep people excited about shit that's not going to happen. Like, it actually happens. And that's what's cool, man. So when you see that they're going to make changes and it's upvoted to all hell for that month's, plan of ideas, next month in the next game update, you're going to see it in some way, shape, or form most of the time. Unless what's being proposed is just really complicated. But for the most part, whenever you see, all right, we're going to make changes to the maxes. Well, look what just happened, man. Some freaking awesome changes were made to the maxes, all based off of player feedback. It's pretty cool.
As far as, you mentioned that the scale of Battlefield. When I started playing Battlefield, it was a big, game for me. Like, I always feel that there is no lack of action, which is, it's nice because it's, you do have, the maps are big. They're not massive, but when
they're massive.
They are pretty massive. And that was like setting the standard for massive. And then PlanetSide 2 goes and just like, makes it not infinitely, but it just doubles, triples that effort. And it's funny because the team play is there in Battlefield 3, especially if you're running with your whole clan or whatever the case is. But then when you look at PlanetSide 2, that team play is also there in the form of outfits. But also you have the individual players who can also make an impact. And what I was curious about is just how do you think that I play single. I don't trust, I guess, people to watch my back.
That's a shame.
Yeah, it is a shame. And because I know that you run with an outfit and you are very strategic, I guess, in your just approach of PlanetSide 2. So from a single player perspective versus a team play perspective, how do you think that I guess that those boundaries are kind of crossed?
Don't get me wrong. I understand the single player aspect, and it happens to me all the time. When I'm playing in maybe a platoon that we're not being that serious, and I'll have a goal in mind. We'll set a goal, and then all of a sudden I see something fucking shiny in the distance, and I'm like a goldfish with a memory span of 6 seconds, and I just get distracted. And that's part of what I love about the game. So I understand the single player aspect. There's a lot for you to do, on your own. But when you're with an outfit, I love getting my military pants on and just going balls to the wall with, like 100 other people, on a scale that I've never seen possible before, and seeing how well you can coordinate with each other and how well you can take everybody's singular efforts and just turn it into this massive coordinated effort. And what's really cool is when you do that and then the enemy does the same thing and you both meet on the battlefield. Now, that doesn't always happen, as we all know. A lot of times it's all about zerging it up, but when that happens, it's glorious. And nothing beats it. Nothing out there.
What's you're talking about, just to kind of get back to this, the team play, and as a solo person, you can always have that impact. If you've watched any of my videos or whatever, you'll see me do some pretty, I try to be humble, but they're pretty amazing things. Like I can go and I can kill 10, 15 guys, and that's just one man, and that is a relatively large footprint. But at the same time, that's a solo perspective, and if you're a solo player, I don't want to discourage joining a squad, because PlanetSide 2 makes it so easy. You just open up your social menu and then you have a list of squads, so you can instantly join an organized effort, which Sergeant Merrell is so fond of, and you can do it from anywhere, at any time, and then just all right, guys, this is what we're going to do.
Part of what I love about playing with the outfits is that you're playing with some of the same people every day. When you jump on, you're like, hey Tom, hey Ben, how you doing? And you know how each other plays, and when you get that together on the battlefield, it creates some pretty cool moments. Like, I'm this one guy I know is always going to pull a really cool harasser, So I know when he's going to do that, I get to jump in there, and I know he's going to be a good driver, and we're going to kick some ass in that harasser. The other guy is always going to pull the anti-air burster, the burster max, when we start seeing problems in the air. So I know if we start getting air coming at us, I know I'm going to be covered in that capacity. I need to go in this direction. So it's pretty cool playing with an outfit, if you ask me. I think it definitely makes it more engaging, and I think more people should do it. They should facilitate that process of joining an outfit a little bit better, because I think it would keep more players in the game. Because if you ask me, it can get a little boring when you play on your own, and with some people who don't have the ability to kill 10 or 12 people in in one life, might feel like they're not making much of a difference and get a little discouraged because of that.
So what would your, I guess, just advice in that respect be? Just to pursue an outfit, try to get into an organized effort, or just, at least, feel out the squads, like just join one and see how things go. You might really, really like it.
And I think they're doing a great job of it, focusing. I think they write an article or they focus on a particular outfit, each week or something like that, which is good. That's what they need to do. They need to make these outfits to be a big deal because they are, it's what's going to keep players in the game and, keep players coming together and getting those big fights going, and it's a lot of fun. So just make it a little easier for players to join up and maybe understand what it's all about.
Yeah. Oh, and the thing that you're talking about is it's something called Friday Night Ops, and this actually goes back to the developers being so awesome. Is that every Friday night they do run with an outfit, and then they just I don't know, they use the observer cam, which just lets them float around and record the battle and that sort of thing, and then they stream it live.
I have something to admit. I've never sat there and watched a Friday Night Ops.
No. Yeah. It's pretty entertaining.
I've seen some of the highlights, and I think it's great, but my Friday nights that's with my family and friends, unfortunately. Not unfortunately. I love my family.
Yeah.
But I play during the week and stuff, so when Friday comes around, I'm like, But I understand, that's their demographic. They're playing with a lot of younger people, and that's when they're off work.
And for anybody who does have time to check it out, who isn't coping with a busy family life and everything else, Friday nights, I forget what time it is, but they have it on Twitch.tv, so you can just see their stream, and they give you hints of what's going to happen in the future too. So they have content. They just show you stuff, and they have interviews with the developers, so you get a feel of who is actually shepherding this game, who the faces are behind it, and then you can interact with them, talk with them, and they are really glad to have you.
That's the transparency that I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I enjoy. Knowing exactly what's going on, and they're not afraid to show people. And I think a lot of other developers are taking note. I've seen Arma. I'm not sure if you've seen the Arma 3 alpha.
I saw some
and their
volumetric fog and things like that. Just
their
videos.
roadmap and how they're doing videos about their roadmap and lessons learned and stuff like that. Daisy Standalone is kind of doing a similar thing. I think they're taking a bit of what PlanetSide 2 is doing, or maybe it's just becoming popular in general. In any case, I think the developers with PlanetSide 2 are doing the best job of it, and other publishers can take note.
Oh yeah, they're absolutely spearheading this sort of thing. And I think it stems from, there are so many games out there. Where does your attention go? Where does your time, go? And you have to have that great community base, and you have to, you have to give something beyond the actual game itself if you want to survive in this industry. And that's me kind of going off on a tangent, but that's my belief.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. It's a competitive world, man, especially in gaming. Multi-billion-dollar industry. You got to keep people informed. You got to let people know what they're paying for and what they're putting their time into.
So what is I don't know if I can even ask this, what is your favorite strategy, or actually your favorite class? That'd probably be easier.
Favorite class? That's hard, man.
Or favorite thing of the game, whatever you want to answer.
It changes every day. You want to know what it is right now?
Yeah,
the NC Max with that shield. I was having so much fun.
Yes,
having so much fun.
I was rocking that yesterday.
I don't even think it's like that big of a deal, because I see most of the Maxes change their strategy, and now they're just walking around with shields, and I'm like, you're doing nothing. You're literally a bullet sponge, and no one is even aiming at you because it takes fucking forever to kill you. It's not like you can shoot with the shields, but what's cool about it is like mixing different strategies with it, and it's a shield, man. It's cool, So that's my favorite class right now. I'm so glad they introduced it. I don't care how
that coolness factor just went to the roof with it.
How silly it may be. You can reload though. While it's,
you can, yeah. You fire and then you reload and then you can pull your shield, and that's the best part, because I am a solo player. So doing this, just running around and being able to pretty much be unstoppable for a while is kind of hilarious.
But last week or the week before that, Light Assault was my favorite class. Next week, who knows?
Oh yeah, I saw your video on Light Assault.
Yeah. Absolutely. Love Light Assault.
What about strategy? So that's your little, smaller perspective. What about in macro, like with your outfit or whatever the case is? What do you like to do with your outfit?
Honestly, with the outfit, I'm just getting into a leadership role, and it's still taking leadership from platoon guidance. Well, which is what I really appreciate. That I don't have to put as much brain power into where we're going and put more brain power into what we're actually doing. And I think that's great.
If I can interrupt you, what outfit do you roll with, and is there a website that people can...
They are War Machine. They actually spell it with 2 V's, so it's VVAR Machine. And their website, I believe, is warnc.com, so that's VVARNC.com.
And that's on the Helio server?
Actually, it just became the Connery server.
Connery, right, merging.
Yes.
Very cool.
So
you got more people to kill.
Absolutely. Played it last night. We were locked into this biodome fight for like 2 hours.
NC rocks the biodomes.
It was pretty tough. I'm not gonna lie. Those TR Maxes that lock down now do some damage. It's pretty interesting now.
Did they take it from you, or did they give up?
Oh, they eventually got. NC always wins, man. Come on.
Oh, okay. All right. So, advice for newer players. So, what do you suggest new players do? Or if why do you suggest they even play? The game. Like, why do you suggest they?
You should play PlanetSide 2 because it offers gameplay that is not available in any other game, and it's free. It's free.
It is free.
It's free. Come on. It's free. So you should at least try it and see if you like it. And if you play with friends, which is what I recommend, or if you don't play with friends, be sociable in the game and talk to people. I mean, proximity chat, such a cool thing. Some of the funniest things I hear is through proximity chat in a huge fight. Play with people, and I promise you, you'll get addicted. It offers something that you will not get in Battlefield 3, you will not get in Call of Duty, you will not get in any other game out there. And did I mention it's free?
I think you did mention that.
Yeah.
Okay. That is a great rundown. All right. Well, I think that about concludes. Wraps things up.
Yeah.
And if any of the links will be in the description below, and you can check out War Machine on Connery now. You can visit their website, and definitely play PlanetSide 2. There's also going to be a link to that if you just feel like playing the game, or whatever the case is. And you can message me, and I know Sergeant Merrell is I'm joking. Sergeant Merrell is very apt to he talks to a lot of his subscribers and things like that. So
yeah, absolutely.
So just send us messages, play with us, all sorts of things like that. So that's about it.
Yeah, thanks for the call, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks very much, folks. We're all signing off. Okay.
Good job, man. Went good.
Thanks. That's hard for me.
No, went good. Went good. People will love it.